U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says eliminating the right to an abortion will have damaging effects on the economy. During her recent testimony on Capitol Hill, she emphasized Black mothers would be most affected. Her remarks drew an immediate response from pro-lifers, including from Senator Sen Scott, who wrote an op-ed saying in part, quote, "If abortion is our first and best answer to ensure that women and low-income families can thrive economically, the United States has reached one of its darkest times in our history." And joining now to discuss is Reverend Dean Nelson, Executive Director of Human Coalition Action and Chairman of the Douglas Leadership Institute. Reverend Nelson, great to see you. Thanks for coming back on. First off, when you heard those comments by Secretary Yellen, what did you think? What went through your mind?
It was chilling to hear from someone in her position. Connecting it somehow to the economy was disturbing. I mean, we've heard these kind of comments before. I was proud that Senator Scott stood up and challenged those ideas. This fundamentally flawed viewpoint somehow that some children are worth having and some children are not is horrible and doesn't really belong in this discussion. I was pleased that he stood up and that so many pro-lifers were quick to respond as well.
Yeah, and Senator Scott, as you know, responded to Secretary Yellen at the time, sharing his own experience growing up with a single Black mother living in poverty. Yet, despite financial challenges, he said he was still able to achieve the American dream. Your thoughts on the senator's response?
Well, it's a great response, and it's true. We know this very well at Human Coalition and the work that we do serving women and rescuing children all across the country. One data point that we recently pulled is 76% of women seeking abortion say that they would choose to parent if their circumstances were different. We've heard powerful testimonies of women throughout our existence that have shared similar stories as Senator Scott and his mother. One of the most profound is one of the most wealthiest Black women in America, actually a media mogul, Kathy Hughes, shares with pride how she rejected abortion as a teenager, raised her son while running her business and became one of the wealthiest Black women in the country and turned that business over to her son, who now runs that business today. We are about supporting women and encouraging them to overcome obstacles, not about killing children. You don't solve the issue of poverty by killing the poor.
Absolutely. I have a question for you. I mean, why do you think this narrative is being pushed that, you know, lower income, single women, in particular women of color, should choose to end their preborn baby's life as a way to improve their economic situation? And what can be done to change that narrative and better support these women?
Well, you know, I think it's driven twofold. One, it's driven by a flawed ideology that's not rooted in our Christian ethic, where we believe that all of us, regardless of race, regardless of income, regardless of circumstance, are made in the image and likeness of God. It rejects that fundamentally. Secondly, there's a billion-dollar industry that is pushing this narrative. Planned Parenthood, as you well know, is over $1 billion enterprise with $1 billion in assets. I think that money is driving part of this discussion, and what we can do to combat it. I think that we need to hear the stories of Kathy Hughes. The president of Democrats for Life of America, Monica Sparks, has a similar harrowing story of she and her sister overcoming that with a mother that was strung out on drugs. I believe that we need to affirm the dignity of all human beings and just leave it at the fact that women need more than abortion. We do better than that as a society, and that's what Human Coalition and many other organizations do by helping women in these difficult circumstances.
We have about a minute or so left, Reverend. Before I let you go, though, I'd like to get your thoughts, kind of where we go from here and the future of the pro-life movement, and also the work that your organization is doing.
You know, I believe as we have been praying and thinking for many, many years that we would see the end of Roe versus Wade. I think that some of the great stories are yet to be told from churches and from community leaders like the Catholic Church, as well as the Church of God in Christ, an African American led denomination that are working to find ways to be solutionists, to provide help for women that find themselves in difficult circumstances. There will be half of our states will likely have restrictions on abortion, and half of our states will likely have little restriction. And so there's a lot of work to be done through the church and through organizations like Human Coalition, rescuing children, but also providing services to women who find themselves in need.
Reverend Nelson, thank you so much. Always great to have you on, and thank you for what you do. God bless you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.